Alright, I was gonna make a joke, but I decided not to make the joke. And yeah. So today we're gonna talk about stability, cause I've actually already made a video on this. I'm gonna rehash some things that I said in other videos because there's something new information. So I made a video a while ago called Debian Stale, and it was about Debian is really old, and people will oftentimes say, "Oh, well, that means it's stable because they keep the stable package and then they only port back or backport security fixes." It's like, yeah, but then they leave in the other bugs that cause crashes because they're not security fixes, so they can't be stable. So what ends up happening though is people will then go to a distribution like OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. And OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, I've also made a video about because I can't remember exactly what it was called. But OpenSUSE has a quote stable base. The OS itself should be stable. Ideally, it doesn't really work out that way in practice, but people will go to it because they say, "Oh, it's rolling release, but it won't break on me." Now, that's true for the OS, but that may not be true for the packages in the OS. And this is where I'm at today because I'm trying out all these different distributions that may work with NVIDIA. Today I'm on NixOS and I hate NixOS. People meme me into using it because they're like ultra smart Linux users or something, and they're like, "Oh, the documentation's fine. Documentation's great. You just don't know how to read." So if you read it, and you actually try to read it, you'll be fine. But man, whenever I look at that documentation, man, it gives me a panic attack. Like it gives me a freaking massive migraine. I gotta like take a nap after reading two sentences on that page. It's like a mix between super technical jargon and like corpo speak, and it's really hard to read. So because I came in thinking, oh, maybe I can rewrite some of their docs, and it's like, no, I don't even know where to start. But it does work on NVIDIA. Now, what I noticed though today was a few issues that I had to log out and log back in, and I had to like hard reset because Brave or Firefox, one of those two, had a memory leak and completely crashed my desktop, which is fine. I don't expect the OS to be at fault for that. Discord. If I selected a GIF in Discord, GIF, whatever, it would just crash Discord. I'd have to restart it. Um, and there was Steam. If I opened up the friends menu in Steam, if I tried to open up messages, it wouldn't load at all, even though I was using the Flatpak. So I had to like log out and log back in for that one. And then I was trying to download an album on SoulSeek, and it said it downloaded, and I couldn't find it in my folder. So I had to like change the download path because I had it set to run media, my external drive, music, and it would just like delete it from that folder. It just like couldn't move it or couldn't copy it or something. But usually that errors out and it just says permission error or something. But that didn't happen in this case. So I had to move it all to the root of the drive and then move that manually into a folder, which is fine. I guess it's not like a huge problem, but whatever. So I'm working around all these little issues, and I'm like, people said that NixOS was really stable, and I'm sure the distribution itself is stable because it's mutable. But man, like these packages in it, and so many little quirks with packages inside of the OS, which is what happened to me on OpenSUSE. Was the OS was fine, but then like I would have to use like the Flatpak for MPV because the native packages didn't want to launch. So bear that in mind when you're thinking of like a stable distribution. Like, yeah, the distro itself might be stable, but the packages in the distro may be buggy, prone to crashes, that kind of thing. And that's important to remember that your distro does not make up the packages that are in it, although it is important to choose a distribution that packages on a decent schedule where not only are you up to date, but you also aren't they're actually in testing, which is something Arch Linux didn't really do. They relied too much on upstream. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.